So after 4 episodes of Dr.Stone, I have decided I really like this show. I liked it from like the first get-go. The first episode I really liked it. I don't know, up to the fourth episode, which I just finished watching, literally. Sorry, this hair on me is bugging me. It's really good. It's on Crunchyroll. There's only 4 episodes out right now. It's an ongoing one. It is an older anime style, which means we don't get the cookie cutter style we're used to, but like you can tell it's probably from like an older manga or something because of the art style. I don't know what the art style's called. I don't know if it's a particular art style. I don't know if it's from a specific studio who's famous for an art style or a certain person who's inspired by an art style. It's just an older art style to me. Like, I've seen older shows that kind of have a similar art style in its own way, but I don't know how to describe it. But basically, Dr. Stone is, within 4 minutes, shit goes down. So, thank God. I love shows when they get, like, done real quick. Basically, it's kind of like your apocalypse show. But what happens is we get, like, about 4 minutes of our characters. And then shit happens. And everyone in the world turns to stone. Everyone goes petrified in stone. And, flash to 3,700 years later, we get, you think like the kid with green hair, Senku, is who they're going to focus on first. No, they focus on his friend Taiju, so, the big simpleton, and he's going to confess to the girl he likes, who will come back into the show, and him and Senku are kind of friends. And Senku's like this mad scientist kid. Like, so they're about high school age, like maybe first years in high school. And yeah, everyone's petrified. We see it happen. There's a green light. And then just it happens to everyone. And Senku is basically the brains. You have Taiju, who's the brawn. I don't know what Yuzuriha, the girl, is yet. And then we get another character later on who you can obviously tell if you watch the opening is probably going to be our antagonist. And he's not like, Senku describes him as, oh, he's a good person, but he's also a murderer. And he makes a joke earlier in a couple episodes where he says, well, let's hope we don't bring back a murderer first. Because then... So they did manage to bring back a good guy who was very useful. He did all the hunting and the fighting. And then it's real clear. Senku could tell right away, okay, he's not a bad person, but he sure as fuck isn't going to be a completely sane person either. So then it becomes a battle of wits about how can we get civilization started much faster than it, because he calls it the Stone Age, but it's literally everything's been taken over. All the humans have been petrified. And basically he woke up about 6 months before Taiju. He finds out how to unpetrify people, and then he wants to unpetrify everyone. But that's not what Tsukasa, our antagonist, wants. He wants a pure world. He knows that... He tells a backstory. I'm giving things away. And you can tell his backstory obviously heavily pays into why he decides he wants to kill people. And he wants to keep the youth because they're pure and untainted. Because he knows if they bring everyone back, what's going to happen is they'll be grateful for a little bit. But unfortunately, I do have to agree with him to some extent. Because yes, they will be grateful for a bit. But then they're going to start fighting amongst themselves. So, like, well, I owned that so-and-so years ago. It's mine. You can't use it. It's going to be a bunch of that shit. And so he doesn't want to bring them back, the adults back, because he knows they're going to start doing this petty bullshit. And the world will devolve into the way it was. And there'll be a bunch of wars going on. And, you know. So he decides he's going to keep the youth alive and build this kind of, like, Stone Age paradise. Which... He has a point for why they need to be selective about waking people up, but at the same time, that doesn't guarantee that these assholes won't turn into the same people. Like, no one is born batshit. Okay, wait, some people are to some extent, but like some people have, like diseases or things that mess with how they would function normally. Like, basically what I'm saying is you learn these behaviors. You just don't come out the womb with an axe. Like, you learn based on experiences, and if there actually is, like, something wrong with you that might contribute to it faster than, say, a normal person. But basically what I'm saying is, like, that just because you kill all the adults, that doesn't mean shit. Children will turn into adults. People are going to learn these behaviors, and who's... Like, you're just kind of stalling the inevitable, really. So, I just finished the 4th episode, and I'm really into it. I like the opening theme. The reactions are a little bit silly, because it's that super... like, facial expressions that just beyond fucking ridiculous more than usual. But I highly recommend trying this anime. Like I said, I've only watched 4 episodes. I can't wait for the next one. I really like it, so that's my first person review on this. It's really good. It's got a little bit of science in there. Basically, you're kind of watching Senku and, everyone rebuild society just faster. Like, literally, all they don't even have the clothes on their backs, so they become petrified. Which would be stupid in any other anime, but, like, it makes sense. They've been petrified for thousands of fucking years. Somehow they managed to live, but obviously their clothes, the buildings that they had built, have started to rot. So there's not much there. Like, the city is completely overgrown, trees are super huge. Humans aren't the main animals anymore. Like, the animals from the zoo, like, obviously there's... Like, actually lions are there because, well, fuck, they were in a zoo, then the zoo rotted. They kept fucking making more lions, so now there's a real danger. They're not the top predators. They don't have their weapons. They literally have fucking spears. Spears in their intelligence. So it's back to that Stone Age. We're not on top. We don't have our science, we don't have our super weapons. We don't have our guns. We don't have any of that. He does make gunpowder though later. So he kind of has to build from square one using the materials they have around them. Clothes, shelter, to make sure they can get enough food, and then they got to build other things. Like, they got to make their house stronger. They got to get weapons. They got to. It happens a little bit faster than I'm explaining it. So I just definitely try it. And the good news is, for once on Crunchyroll, they actually have a fucking trailer of it. So if you don't want anything spoiled, don't watch the trailer. But then again, if you're reading the review, I pretty much spoiled most of it, so just go watch the fucking trailer. It's like under 2 minutes, I think. But they have a trailer, and then they have 4 episodes, and I don't know when the next episode's out. I just hope it's soon, because I'm really into this show. So I think I've said everything I need to say. But seriously, it's called Dr.Stone. Dr. Stone. It's on Crunchyroll, and you'll know it's him because the dude has what every fucking main character had for a while in the old days: hair that defied physics. He's got like and it's white and it's got like green on it. And he's got red eyes. So like, yeah, the other two look a little bit more common, little bit more average. Like the brown hair and regular-ish hairstyle compared to him. But seriously, go watch it.